Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show how you can create a custom form in your custom module, and the main thing we will discuss how you can accept additional parameter in your form so that you can either pre-fill your fields in form, or you can do any pre-processing before putting values into your form. So we will use dress. So dress has one generate command. So first we will generate one module. Here we can put our form name, module name. Okay, so we have one file generated, which is yk underscore form dot info dot yml, and this is the basic requirement actually in Drupal 8, 9 and 10. If you want to create any custom module, then this is the minimum requirement that you should create info.yml file. And if we open this file in VS Code, so here we have inside custom I have yk form module, and if we check here, so here you can see it's a name and type. Make sure you have mentioned here a module, and for theme this should be a theme, description, package, and this is more important, that core version requirement. If you mention here only 10, then it will work only in Drupal 10, but if you want also to make it work in 9, then you can mention like this. Okay, so now it is compatible to work with Drupal 9 and 10. Next we will create one form. So inside source directory form we will create our form ykform.php. So we are extending actually form based class, then we have to implement some required methods from form based class, and these three are required actually. Get form id, so it will return the form id. In my case I'm saying it yk form, and this is the build form actually, where we will build our form. We don't have any implementation detail for this submit function. Right now our form class is actually ready, and how we can access this form. So for that we can create one custom route so that we can load it from there. This content, whoever has access content permission, they can view this route. So let's open this route here in the browser. Now maybe in your real time application, you want to get some variable, or you want to pass some variable to your form so that you can use those variable for extra pre-processing or pre-fill some value to your form. And maybe that time you are also not visiting the URL but loading that form in your controller or in some other places. So I will also show you how you can load this form in your controller and pass some additional value to this form. If we put any additional parameter here right now, so suppose anything x y z, and if we put like this, so it will result into page not found. So to accept these additional parameter, you have to define here some dynamic value, and it should be name and age, as our example is here, name and age. And if you define here name and age, then you also need to define these two variable in your build function. Now if we refresh this page, so nothing happened because we need to clear the cache. Okay, so why it's not working? Because also we need to define here options in options parameters, and it should be like name. Our name type is a string, Now if we clear the cache, still page not found, name, age. Okay, here we need to also define a default value. In my case, I'm expecting that if age parameter is not available, then by default consider it 18 in this parameter. And if whenever you are making any changes to routing file, then make sure you are also clearing the cache. So now you can see I'm not passing any value in the URL, so it's not available here. However, I'm not doing anything here in the form to get this value. So let's provide a default value here. So if name has any value, then it will populate that value in name field. Otherwise, it will be empty. Same we need to also define here for the age. And if age is not there, then mostly we have assigned a default value to age in the root itself, so no need to check null safe operator here. So you can see 18 by default inserted here, and if we pass here some value like Yogesh and my age, if I pass here, so you can see this is populated in both places. So this is the way you can actually pass some variable to your custom form and populate them. And this is not only available in this form, also in build form, but also you can check from here. uh, so I'm taking here one build. I'm extracting a variable from form state get build info, and in build info also you can get actually those value that you are passing from the variable. And this way build info is available in your build form and submit and validate function as well. So there also you can actually retrieve these value if you don't want to pass them via form field. And if I make a breakpoint here and execute start the debugger, okay, my debugger is running here. And if now we check build info, so inside args you can see I have two element in my array. First one is name variable, second one is age variable. Here you don't see any associative array, but it's like an integer array. So you have to consider it like in 0th position it is coming a name, and it is like in same order as you have defined your parameter here in the route. If you also want to see here in your submit function, so maybe in your case you are not like putting default value in your form field. So suppose we don't have this here, and if I simply create one form with like full name maybe, okay. full name text field, full name, and we don't have any default value here. And you want to actually see whether you are getting this additional parameter inside your submit function or not. So we will go here and take here build info. Now instead of putting my debugger here, I will put debugger here, so that whenever control comes to this function, so we can actually see the value. Okay, again I'm starting debugger. So right now actually, okay, we also need to create a submit button here. Refresh. Okay, now we have submit button here. If we submit here, nothing happen, but let's start the debugger, put some value here, then submit it. It invokes my submit function, and in submit function, if we go and check the build info, so see, you still have these values. So that's give you power to actually use these variable coming from your URL to do some processing or anything that you want to do with these variable. Maybe you are like working with a multi-step form where you want to retain these value, but you don't want to store somewhere, so you can actually make a form, and in the route you can pass these dynamic values from one page to another page. So this is the example of like direct route. And if you want to also create one controller, so let's have one example from controller. So okay, and let's clear the cache. After that, okay, we have here a route for the controller, and let's visit this URL. Okay, so it works. We have this message that we are returning from our controller class. Let's load that form here actually. So this is my actually form builder service, and from where it is coming. So if you go to your controller base class, here you will see found that form builder. Form builder is there, and that method also you can find here. You can see this is the form builder method that is actually returning this form builder service. So I'm trying to get this form, and we can pass this, we can return this form here in the build itself. So instead of creating everything, you can simply pass this form here. And if we visit and refresh this page, you can see right now I have access to the form using my controller. Now if you try to pass some additional variable to this form programmatically, and once we reload this, and in form, go to the form class again, and in submit function again, my debugger breakpoint is here. So let's start the debugger and put some value here, try to submit, and now check if we have the same value here or not. So in build info, you can see yk form, and second one is 30. So this is the way actually you can use this logic in your custom module to utilize extra parameter in inside your form. Thank you for watching my video.